So today, we are taking a deep dive into the one, the only Clifford Inu. Because why not? Okay, if there's a Shiba Inu, why can't there be a Clifford Inu? You're wondering how we got here. I also am wondering that. But I had a comment in a video. Shout out to Daddy Harambe. Had thoughts on Clifford Inu. Like, you know what? As soon as I saw this little dog image here, this branding, like, okay, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at it. Now, real quick, my name's Ryan. No Autopilot YouTube channel. I do deep dives on cryptocurrencies, covering meme coins, community coins, legit projects, everything in between. I post every Monday through Friday. I also live stream every Monday through Friday. We also go ahead, we have a community post that we post every single day asking which token we're going to review next. Looks like the next video I'm going to be putting out is going to be on Wax. So if you want to participate in that, make sure you're subscribed and following those community chats. And last plug, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go and see my personal moves, get access to a whole bunch behind the scenes content, go ahead and take a look, such as any additions I make to my portfolio, early access to videos, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So if you've been here for a while, you know that my goal is to protect the homies from scams. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help us all make some money and not lose it to scams. Which brings us to Clifford Inu. Is it a scam? Is it legit? Should you disconnect from this video right now and go buy it? Let's start with the high level. Meet Cliff, the deflationary dog token that never stops eating, growing. I would classify this as a meme/community token. So it's built on the Ethereum blockchain, and in essence, it has some coding written to the smart contracts to be very, very deflationary. Now, this project was actually launched on Yasha Incubator, which we're going to dig into a little bit more later in the video. But it's a little bit of a startup incubator for meme/community coins. Now, what is Clifford Inu trying to do that's different? Why should we care? Okay, the art's cool, but why should we care? So Cliff is a highly deflationary token on the Ethereum blockchain that never stops growing through the use of true deflationary techniques and further income generation. One of the main issues with cryptocurrency projects is the lack of a long-term volume. As the markets slow down, it's difficult for them to go ahead and fund marketing. So what Clifford's doing, that I haven't seen any other project do, is they're taking a percentage of the funds that are sent to their marketing budget, and they're actually go ahead and they're turning around and they're buying like Bored Ape, Yacht Club NFTs, stable coins, lending them for interest, buying blue chip crypto, and kind of funneling those profits back into the protocol. So it's pretty interesting. Right off the bat, that's kind of a different approach. Now, what makes this a little bit unique, we talked about those burns. So they have automatic burns that are happening at set timeframes. They also go ahead and have manual burns. So they're monitoring the liquidity, and if it becomes oversaturated, someone from the team's jumping in and burning some. Anti-whale protection, we've seen that before. So if you have a whole bunch of tokens and you try and sell, there's some limits on what you could do there. And then some taxes that are come back to marketing to go ahead and keep this thing growing. Keep Clifford fed. Now, this was another cool thing I saw on their website. Haven't seen this before. I reviewed a handful of projects. I haven't seen this before, so it's pretty neat. We talked about how they're taking some of those funds and they're going out into the marketplace and buying NFTs and accessing stable coins and other things. Right here, we can open up the NFTs. This is going to show us all their NFT collections that they have right now. It would load. Wow. All right, I'm bored. It loads. They also go ahead and they show their total wallet assets. So it shows that they've swapped some of the funds they've earned into wrapped ETH, USDC, a whole bunch of other stuff. A different approach. Interesting. Now we talk about the founders. Typically when we're reviewing projects, I like to have folks that are doxed. I want to see your pretty face. I want to have someone that I imaginary am punching when I lose all my money for investing in another meme coin. And they do have AMAs. They do have AMAs with the devs. They hop on. I watched about an hour and a half of this thing. Yeah, I guess not much to say. It seems like they're relatively savvy. So it seems like they've built this thing and it's kind of doing well. Would I trust them with my firstborn? Probably not. Probably not. But As for a meme coin, community coin, random out of the blue crypto, at least they're putting their faces out there. Now we jump into social media, because one of the big drivers of these meme community coins is how strong their community actually is. If we hop on Reddit, 765 members, Twitter, 11,000 followers. Medium page is new, so it only has one article. They're mentioning posting, I think, bi-monthly to this thing going forward. I also tried to pull them up on Lunar Crush, and oddly enough, they didn't show up, which is probably not a great sign, but I imagine something that they're working on. And then, of course, we hop on YouTube. There's a handful of other crypto creators out there that are probably buying this thing and pumping it on their channels. And then also they listed a GitHub on their channel, which I typically don't pull up because I don't put a lot of credence in these, but they had one, and it does look like they're actively updating it. So there you go. Now we like to play the game of what if. Okay, what if Cliff hit the market cap of Elon Mars? And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at a 14x on the money that you put in. Now we talk about things that could go ahead and pump this price up. Big one, community meme coins, is exchange listings. Currently, they're only listed on 4 exchanges, with Bitmart probably being the most reputable out of all of those. Now we did talk about burns, both automatic and manual. They do have what seems to be full transparency on burns that are occurring through that dApp that I mentioned. You can go ahead and track this straight through the website. So as those burns increase, the availability of the token decreases, demand stays the same or goes up, the valuation would go up. Now we talk about utility for the token. So taxes on buys and sells are flowing back to their marketing team to go ahead and purchase those assets. They're using those assets to lend or and otherwise leverage to gain exposure for the project, funneling all those proceeds back to Clifford Inu with the long-term solution of hopefully creating a DAO infrastructure where token holders can go ahead and vote on Clifford Inu. What's up, Crypto Marcoco? Dude, I love seeing folks show up like consistent every single day. Man, you guys make this job so much more fun. All right. So what else we got? We pulled up the circulating supply, 10,000 million billion trillion, a trillion tokens, of course. One thing that's interesting is it is not automatically feeding to coin market cap. And I don't know enough about why that has or hasn't happened, but ideally, this information would be flowing automatically from them. We look at the total addresses. So this thing launched in December. They had a whole bunch of early adopters back here. A couple thousand folks got in. And as we look, added about 1,000 since the beginning of January. They're clipping along. Now, we touched on this before, but the uniqueness of Clifford Inu is the tokenomics, the primary reason of the project's success. A percentage of the buys and sells, 10-15% respectively, is allocated to further build the liquidity of Cliff, and hence allows for increased stability of the token price. However, at the point the liquidity is determined saturated and preventing further growth, a percentage portion of liquidity is retrieved from the pool. This results in Cliff tokens and Ethereum. That Cliff tokens retrieved are then burnt, and the Ethereum is used to purchase Cliff. So pretty much they're taking proceeds that are coming in, working and massaging some of the total available assets and using those in a way to pump up the price. Now we want to pull this thing up on Token Sniffer, and typically I like to use this thing to say, okay, is this just like a pop-up scam? They go open this thing up for a couple weeks, get a bunch of money, and then they're out. And I think reviewing this project going in, I'm not expecting a great deal from it. I'm not expecting it to be the next Ethereum, right? So I'm not too concerned with what's popping up here. We do have a whole bunch of other similar tokens that this was either forked off of or projects that have forked off of them. So take that with what you will. Now we talk about the roadmap. As I went through and I followed these, they actually did a half decent job of executing on them. With one of the major things that they have on the roadmap for governance is their DAO infrastructure executing in phase 3. Now, where to buy, we already covered this, but Bitmart is probably the most reputable exchange. Interestingly enough, they were already audited by Certik. Now, I don't put a lot of credence in Certik audits because they paid to have this happen and there's a bunch of problems on it. But the fact they already have it done, all right, that's cool. So jumping back into that roadmap, really what they have looking forward is a Gate.io listing, Bitfinex listing, 50,000 holders, which would be a 5x from where they are now. Binance listing, of course, because your meme coin has to be listed on Binance, and a bunch of other stuff. Now, this brings us back to the Yasha Incubator. And I should give a disclaimer. I'm just an idiot. I'm wrong all the time. You guys know I'm wrong all the time if you watch my videos. And oftentimes when I'm sitting down here, I'm trying to like connect the threads and everything, okay? Connect the threads. So the Yasha Incubator is an incubator project that went ahead and helped launch Clifford Inu. So they help with token creation, contract audit, website, social media, Telegram setup, fundraising, marketing, and more. And the founding team, the dev team behind Clifford Inu, are advisors or are the original holders, creators of Yasha Incubator. So I guess the point is they created Yasha Incubator, or they were paid to help support Yasha Incubator to go ahead and launch a meme coin. And the requirements to go ahead and participate in some of these initial offerings is that you own a whole bunch of Yasha tokens. It's layers upon layers of, okay, you have to have this token that's also our project in order to get access to this token, which is also our project. And you have to have this NFT, which is also part of our project. So they're making money along the way. I don't know if other folks are making money as well, or if it's just them, but that's kind of how it's looking. There's a couple other projects that they launched. So Guzzler is a game. Terrible name, by the way. Like, I don't know if that was intentional, but yeah, yikes. And then, of course, they went ahead and they launched Clifford Inu. Now we pull up a couple of the charts. So Inu Yasha is the token that you have to have in order to get early access to the projects launched off of that Inu Yasha starter. And we could kind of see it's having a little bit of a run up. People are piling in to buy this token to participate. Poki Inu was something that launched off of that starter, and it's kind of traded sideways. Also a brand new token, though. Guzzler, which again, terrible name. I don't mean to be offensive, but just ridiculous. They also launched in December, had a bit of a run up, and are now trading sideways. Today. And then, of course, we pull up Clifford Inu's chart. It did have this weird thing happen back here. Had this massive little spike. And I don't know if that's a glitch or something. But if we also look at the volumes, it went from a couple $1 million all the way up to around $30 million. And then went ahead and just kind of collapsed upon itself. So, what'd I miss? Did I miss anything? No, I got it all. Okay, so let's hit this wrap up. I think pros. This branding is impeccable. Like, there is no way in hell I'm ever gonna forget this dog's face, even if I wanted to. Okay. In addition to that, through this Inu Yasha incubator, okay, even if it's theirs, even if they're making money on every little step of the way, the fact that they are providing all this support up front for these meme coins, community coins, legit projects to get off the ground, puts some heads and shoulders over your typical, run-of-the-mill random coin that tries to get created and make a bunch of money. And we've seen this proven on their website because they're already Certik audited. They already have a pretty sick website. The dApp that they have built in the back end is pretty stellar also. The white paper was impressive. And so from a branding standpoint, support standpoint, I think that's valuable. Cons. I think it's totally possible it could go to zero, right? I think you have to go into this expecting that. I think also if you are an early adopter and you participated through that launch pad, there are some restrictions on selling, where if you sell too many too soon, you can actually get blacklisted. Which, look, if I have an asset, I put money in and it rallies up, I want the ability to go ahead and sell it. It's not my job to kind of keep the longevity going. It's my job to make myself some money. And I guess the last con is they're kind of farming people, right? They get you to feel like you have to have the Inu Yasha token in order to get access to the pre-sale release of a meme coin that probably doesn't have a ton of value. In addition to that, you also have to purchase an NFT in order to have access to that pre-sale. And you pile all that in, and now you get a bunch of Cliff tokens that, again, may or may not be worth anything. Quick pause for the chat. What do we got? Crypto Marcoco. Is that Yasha part of that One Alliance anime token group? Yeah, I'm not sure. Jazz, K&M, thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. A dash. Where is it available? You can get this sucker on Bitmart, I think was the most reputable exchange. Hold on. Markets. Bitmart. I say last thoughts. So I think if you have a plan going into Clifford Inu and you have a plan to get out of Clifford Inu, it's not terrible. Not terrible. Okay, if you have $50, you want to throw it in there, kind of like a casino bet on black, why not? I think the other potential con, and I could be wrong here, taking assets from token sales and then using a portion of those to go out and buy other tokens and NFTs, and then catching interest on that. I believe that's against U.S. security law. I could be wrong. But that's if they're based in the U.S., which they may or may not be. Is it gonna moon? Says Jay Jazz. Man, I can't tell you that. I could tell you from a meme coin standpoint, the website is sick. All right. The back end that they've built looks pretty cool. All right. I'd say that the white paper looks solid. I'd say my biggest concern with it right now is just a lack of community. Like, where are these people? Where are all these holders? They need to be out here shilling this thing if they want this thing to pump. And it seems like they got everything in place except for that. So there you have it. There's my review on Clifford Inu. One of the best cryptocurrency meme images I've seen in a while. Takes me back to when I was a child reading Clifford the Big Red Dog. Am I going to buy it? I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm undecided. But there you have it. There's my review of Clifford.